Super Typhoon Bavi has unleashed catastrophic conditions across the Northern Mariana Islands, leaving communities facing destructive winds, torrential rain, dangerous storm surge, and widespread power outages. As one of the most powerful tropical cyclones of the 2026 Pacific typhoon season, Bavi has captured global attention with its extreme intensity and the severe impacts it continues to inflict across the Western Pacific. Throughout the day, powerful rain bands swept across Saipan, Rota, Guam, and nearby islands, bringing relentless tropical storm conditions long before the center of the cyclone arrived. Residents described the sound of the howling wind as unlike anything they had experienced before, while sheets of rain dramatically reduced visibility and transformed streets into hazardous waterways. Emergency officials repeatedly urged everyone to remain indoors as conditions deteriorated rapidly. The strongest impacts were reported on Rota, where the eye of Super Typhoon Bavi moved directly across the island. Meteorologists reported maximum sustained winds reaching around 180 miles per hour, approximately 290 kilometers per hour, with even stronger gusts capable of producing catastrophic damage. The eye wall delivered violent winds, powerful enough to rip roofing materials from buildings, destroy structures, snap utility poles, and scatter debris across entire neighborhoods.
Zero visibility. Wala naman.
Videos recorded during the passage of the storm revealed roofs shaking violently, trees bending nearly to the ground, and debris flying through the air as residents sheltered inside reinforced buildings. During the brief calm created by the eye of the typhoon, some people mistakenly believed the storm had ended, but authorities immediately warned that the opposite side of the eye wall would soon arrive with equally destructive winds blowing from the opposite direction. Government facilities were not spared from the storm's fury. The office of the mayor of Rota, which had been serving as the island's emergency command center throughout the disaster, sustained major structural damage, while emergency personnel continued coordinating rescue and response operations inside the building. Parts of the expanded office complex were destroyed, while flooding entered sections of the remaining structure. Despite the dangerous conditions, emergency teams continued working to support residents across the island. Across Rota, significant structural damage was reported as homes, carports, businesses, communications equipment, and public infrastructure suffered the force of the Category 5 typhoon. A telecommunications antenna collapsed during the height of the storm, raising concerns about communication disruptions as emergency crews attempted to assess the situation.
My God, lahat ng post
Saipan
pa.
also endured prolonged periods of destructive weather. Powerful wind gusts intensified before sunrise, with residents documenting rapidly strengthening conditions as the cyclone approached. Throughout the morning and afternoon, heavy rainfall combined with damaging winds uprooted numerous trees, scattered debris across roads, and caused widespread interruptions to electrical service. Even after the center of the storm moved away toward the west, strong winds continued affecting the island for several more hours as the enormous circulation of the cyclone remained nearby. Guam experienced dangerous conditions despite remaining south of the typhoon's center. Strong, sustained winds, typhoon-force gusts, intense rain, rough surf, and coastal flooding affected many communities. Floodwaters accumulated in low-lying areas, while powerful waves pushed seawater onto portions of the coastline, creating hazardous travel conditions. Authorities also reported scattered flood damage and power outages, affecting numerous neighborhoods as emergency crews responded where conditions allowed. Many residents shared dramatic footage showing trees whipping violently, ocean waves crashing far beyond the shoreline, and visibility dropping to near zero under relentless tropical downpours. Several hotels and residential buildings overlooking the coast experienced severe wind impacts as Bavi generated enormous waves across surrounding waters. Meteorologists emphasized that the storm's immense size meant dangerous conditions extended well away from the center. Even islands that avoided a direct landfall experienced damaging winds, flooding rainfall, rough seas, and hazardous surf, capable of threatening lives and infrastructure. Mariners were strongly advised to remain in port as seas became extremely dangerous across the region. Power outages became increasingly widespread as the typhoon intensified. Falling trees and wind-damaged power lines left many communities without electricity, while communication services became intermittent in several locations. Emergency officials reminded residents to avoid unnecessary travel, remain sheltered indoors, and wait for official announcements before venturing outside, even if conditions temporarily appeared calmer. Attention is now turning toward the Philippines as Super Typhoon Bavi continues moving west-northwest across the Philippine Sea. Once the cyclone enters the Philippine Area of Responsibility, it will receive the local name Inday. Although current forecasts indicate that the center may remain offshore, forecasters continue warning that the storm's enormous circulation could still generate dangerous weather across parts of northern Luzon, including powerful winds, heavy rainfall, rough seas, and an enhanced southwest monsoon capable of producing flooding far from the storm's core. Disaster management agencies throughout the region continue monitoring Bavi around the clock as emergency preparations intensify ahead of its approach. Local governments are urging residents in vulnerable coastal and mountainous communities to remain alert for updated advisories, possible evacuation orders, flash flooding, landslides, and dangerous marine conditions. As damage assessments continue across the Northern Mariana Islands, emergency responders remain focused on restoring essential services, clearing debris, reopening transportation routes, and assisting affected families. The full extent of the destruction will likely become clearer only after weather conditions fully improve and assessment teams can safely reach every impacted community.
Palakas na yung hangin, guys.
Super Typhoon Bavi serves as another powerful reminder of the destructive force that major tropical cyclones can unleash across the Pacific. With catastrophic winds, flooding rains, coastal inundation, and widespread infrastructure damage, the storm has left thousands facing dangerous conditions while recovery efforts are only beginning. Authorities continue urging everyone across the storm's projected path to stay informed, follow official instructions, and prioritize safety until the threat has completely passed.
This is tornado material here. Oh my goodness. My goodness.